Hi everyone, this is Luxtos, and today I'm bringing you yet another WeakAuras video guide. We'll be covering the brand new Hunter's WeakAuras update. So if you are ready, let's get right into it. Before we get into this, I want to let you know, I used to do things in a different way back then for my WeakAuras, and I'm changing it a little bit. Especially for the Hunter class, I was doing a rotational helper that was going into depth a little bit too much to my taste. So I've stepped back a little bit from this on multiple classes, and there is still a rotational aspect to it, but it's more going to be about tracking your ability, your cooldown, your dots, your buff, and all of that good stuff. So the WeakAuras are still going to help you out with your rotation, but they're not going to be holding your hands and telling you exactly which button to press in every aspect of the rotation. So I just wanted to warn you here that the new update is going to be faster, it's more clean, it is more customizable, all of that good stuff, but we're stepping down a little bit from the rotational aspect of it. There is a little bit of it, but not as much as the original version. But this version is going to be way lighter because of this. It's going to go faster. It's not going to have as much CPU usage. And you guys are going to be able to enjoy it for what it is, right? So we're going to cover Beastmaster, Marksmanship, and Survival right up next. As you can see, I picked random talents. Doesn't really matter. This isn't a guide. This is only to show you how the WeakAuras works themselves. You can pick any talents. Things are going to move around and everything is going to be customizable. So as you can see right off the bat, out of combat, it looks pretty much the same, right? You're going to have your icon telling you that you probably need to summon your pet and you're going to be good to go. We have the focus bar right here, and then you have your frenzy tracker, just like it previously was in the old version. You're going to have your utility bar down here, and we're adding something new. We're adding a cast bar. As you can see, it's not overlapping on any of the resources. So this is an approach that I'm trying right now. We're going to figure out if you guys like it. And that's probably going to get applied to multiple classes, right? So what we're going to do is we're probably going to copy this on multiple classes, and we'll see if it works, right? Because this allows me to make a cast bar that doesn't hide the resources system. Okay, so let's get into it. So as you get into combat, you're going to see that pretty much looks the same. But the rotational aspect of it is a little bit more straightforward. So it's going to let you know that you should probably barb shot, and then you're going to get your first frenzy tracker. You should probably kill command and then reapply it, right? But that's pretty much it, okay? So we're taking out of the equation the Cobra shot, because having the Cobra shot in there in the rotational helper is a little bit of a problem. Because that's something you should know about your class and about your rotation, when to dump resources or when to generate it, right? So this little helper here is going to let you know, okay, so you should probably use barb shot, and kill command is on cooldown, and you should probably use it, right? So those are the two most important steps. But as you can see, nothing else is glowing. So what is going on? Why is Chimera Shot not glowing? Murder of Crow or Bestial Wrath or any of that? Why is it not glowing? Well, it is really simple, and let me show you. So this is something that I've implemented in the Hunter WeakAuras, and I plan to do it on multiple classes. So this is the first step to it, and you guys are going to be able to tell me if you like it or not. Let me just remove these for now. All right. So we're going to not load this one. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the rotation, and we're going to go into the cooldowns. If you click on cooldowns right now and you go into the custom option, you can see that you have all of your abilities in the cooldown window, and you have a little checkbox that says glow. So if, for example, the ability Bestial Wrath for me is really, really important, then you would want to check it. That means that every time this ability goes off cooldown and it's ready to be used, it's going to be glowing. But you can customize it. So not all of the ability are going to be glowing, only the one that you checked. This doesn't affect the rotational ability. So the core rotational ability, for example, for Beastmaster Hunter, Beast Mastery, your core rotational ability like Barb Shot and Kill Command are not going to be affected by this. This is all the external cooldown, right? So Talents cooldown and baseline long cooldown. So you can go in here, check whichever ability. So we're going to go with Bestial Wrath because it's pretty important. And we're going to go into the rotation here. And I would like to have my Chimera Shot. I would love to have my Chimera Shot glow whenever it is available. And yeah, this is going to be good to go. So now, as you can see, Chimera Shot glows every time that it's off cooldown. So we can go ahead and do the rotation here. Bestial Rat is available. So there you go. So all of the ability that you need to use are going to be glowing whenever you want them to. So Chimera Shot, there you go. So I'm overcapping here. This is not a rotational guide, okay? And then you can do the same for Murder of Crow if you want to show it off whenever it's off cooldown. If you want to make sure that you see it, you're going to be able to trigger that glow. This means that you're able to customize your interface just like you want it to. So not everything is going to be glowing right in your face, screaming at you. You can, if you don't like that aspect, then you can simply go ahead and remove it. You can do the same for the interrupt. So if you would like to have your muzzle, for example, in survival or counter shot or anything like that, if you would like to have those ability glow up, then you're gonna have access to that. Of course, as you can see right now, I have Chimera Shot and Murder of Crow, but everything is gonna move around if you pick different talents. So right now, for example, I don't think Dire Beast is recommended, but if you decide to pick it, it's gonna go right there. Murder of Crow is gonna move up here because Dire Beast has a shorter cooldown than Murder, so those are gonna swap out. And that's going to be the case for some of these ability. If, for example, you do not pick any active abilities, so if you go with Killer Instinct, Scent of Blood, and Venomous Bite, you're going to get your Aspect of the Wild, and you're going to get your Bestial Wrath directly into the rotation part of it. Just like the cooldown in the cooldown bar, you're going to be able to check those if you want them to glow when they're off cooldown. So this is pretty straightforward for Beast Mastery Hunter. You also have access to your PvP talents, so if you want to get Spider Sting, Scorpion Sting, and Viper Sting, which I do not recommend that you do, well, they're all going to show up here, and you're going to be able to track them. This works for everything, right? Trap, Savage, Roar of Sacrifice, all of that good stuff. And I even added something pretty cool, right? So if you cast a trap right there, you can see the duration of the trap. Right, so if you stay in combat, of course, because if you go outside of combat, it's not registering the information anymore. But if you stay in combat, it's gonna help you know whenever that trap is going to break. If you want to pay attention to it, that's a little detail, but I think it's pretty neat, right? So we're gonna go back with non-active ability. Doesn't really matter here. So Roar of Sacrifice is just gonna show up at the bottom here, so that's pretty cool, right? So that's it for Beast Mastery. We're now going to move on to Marksmanship Hunter. Just like Beast Mastery, we're going to go into Marksmanship with random talents. This is not a rotation guide or talent guide. This is only to show you how the WeakAuras works. So let's get into it, right? So we're going to go in combat here, and as you can see, you have your three main ability for Marksmanship. You're going to have Aim Shot, Arcane Shot, and Rapid Fire. You're going to have charges down here, which this is new. This is a new feature, allowing you to see in your peripheral view how many charges you have for Aim Shot. So I think that's pretty cool. Whenever you use one of those, you're going to be able to see really quickly that you have gray or really light blue bar. So it's going to be easy to see whenever that brand new charge is coming off cooldown. So you have the number here letting you know precisely when it's coming off. But if you're following mechanic, you're doing something, and you see the blue bar show up, you're going to know that that charge is ready, right? As soon as you consume at least one charge of Aim Shot, it's going to let you know that you should put Rapid Fire on cooldown, and you're going to have your Precise Shot glowing over Arcane Shot every time the cost is going to be reduced, letting you know that you should probably use those as well. We're going to have Master Marksman talent right there, lighting up every time that this is available. If you decide to pick Serpent Sting or Murder of Crows, it is going to replace it. So really straightforward there. We're going to be tracking Explosive, Hunter Mark, Double Tap, Piercing Shot, Barrage. All of those active ability are going to be tracked. They're going to let you know whenever they're off cooldown. Just like Beast Mastery, you're able to activate the glow, customizable on all of those. So as you can see here, we have Counter Shot that we activated in the previous segment, and it is still glowing there because it is available. There you go. So that's going to be straightforward for Marksmanship. We have the overlay cast now on the focus. So every time that you are going to use some of that focus, it is going to let you know how much is going to be spent on those aim shot. You have the cast bar helping you out, and everything is pretty steady. So we're going to back off here, and I'm going to show you Hunter now in 3 specs are going to have not only a resource management, but a range check. So if you go out of range here, you're going to see that your ability are going to turn red whenever you are no longer in range of the dummy, right? So if I go outside of the range, my abilities are going red. So they're going to go blue whenever you're dumping all of your focus and you don't have any resources left. And if you go outside of the range, they're going to go red. So this is going to work for survival. This is going to work for marksmanship and beastmaster. This is global across all 3 specs, right? So there you go. This is going to be it for marksmanship. PvP talent are going to be working just like beastmastery. It is really straightforward. It's just more clean, more easy to follow, a little bit of rotational helper, and the rest is just tracking the things that you need to see, right? So let's go straight into survival. Okay, so let's go straight into this. Again, random talents doesn't really matter. We're going to go in combat here and test that stuff out. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening for survival that I think are going to be pretty useful. The first one that I really want to show you is if you have wildfire infusion. Now, if you're going to use one of those bomb, it's going to be tracked down here. As you can see, you now have a blue bar letting you know that you currently have the blue buff available. So you're going to have the blue for shrapnel, you're going to have the green for volatile, and you're going to have the red one as well. These are going to be tracked in color so that you know which buff is currently available, and you're also going to see which bomb is the next one with the aura. So if you use both of them, for example, back to back, you're going to get both bars staggered up, one under the other, and you're going to be able to see how long you have on those to buff on the target. So I think that's pretty neat. You're going to have the tracking for your sting, obviously. You're going to have your bomb lighting up, and then you're going to be able to spend with your command, and you're going to be able to, generate with your command, and you're going to be able to spend with your Raptor Strike. Whenever you get those tip of the spear, you're going to be able to track directly onto the Raptor Strike how long is remaining. That's pretty cool, right? So we're going to save up on icons, and you're going to be able to see that straight up in there. Your Venom Viper is right up here, but it's also going to make the ability light up. So that's going to be another good way of tracking it. And you're going to be able to track the cooldown as well on Carve or Butchery if you decide to pick that talent. So everything is going to work here. So we have Bloodseeker. So if you ever decide to have 2 bleeds, it's going to be showing up. You're going to know how many bleeds you have active if you're trying to get that active on multiple target to get that attack speed bonus, right? You're going to be able to track Steel Trap, Murder of Crow, just like all other specs. You're going to have your Binding Shot. That's good to go. You're going to have Mongoose Bite and Flanking Strike. So those are all going to be available. We're just going to go in here. You're going to be able to see exactly how many of those you have active. There you go. So you're going to be able to see how long before it runs off and how long you can you have available to stack those up as high as you can, right? So we're going to go outside of combat here. That's pretty straightforward. These don't stack with tip, so they're able to replace the tooltip right there, so that's pretty cool. All of your cooldowns are just going to light up when you ask them to, so just the same thing that we did with Beast Mastery and a Marksman. You can go in here into the custom option. So again, if you click on any of those groups that are supported by the glow feature, you can click directly on the group, and let's say that I would like... there's no ability here that works for this one, but we can go into the specific, and for example, I want to have Flanking Strike, right? And then if I pick Flanking Strike, if I go in combat here, it's simply going to glow. It's going to be easy to track, and I'm going to be ready to go just like that, right? So PvP talents are going to work just like it. So you're going to have a little bit more utility with survival because of mending bandages. And so if you stack up, you're going to have a pretty big bar up there. So we had to do some cleanup. I decided to remove Flare just because of space. Flare is something that the cooldown is just as long as the actual visual on the ground. So I told myself that it wasn't necessarily super important to track it. So, I mean, if you don't see the orange glow anymore, you can simply go ahead and cast it again. So I'm trying to skim down a little bit on the utility so that I can have space for the more important stuff. If you decide to customize those, add it back, you can do so. I have multiple tutorials on YouTube letting you know how to do that. Right, so this is going to be it for Hunter. I think I covered everything that you needed to see. One last thing that I want to show you, which is really, really cool. So this is going to be coming up for every single auras, for every single class, right? If you want to move the aura, all you need to do is select the rotation group and move it. Everything is going to be linked, okay? So if you go to the cooldown group, for example, it is anchored. So if you go in the group tab, it is anchored to the frame of the rotation, okay? So it is directly anchored to it. All of them are anchored to the rotation. So if I decide to move the rotation up here, everything is going to follow along. So you're going to be able to move everything in one single piece, in one single unit. So that's one of the features that you guys have been asking for, so I decided to implement it. You're going to be able to move everything with a single change here in the Y offset in the group section. So I think that covers it for Hunter. Just like usual, I'm just going to do my little rambling at the end of the video. I'm currently recording those video live. And I mean, it's always funny. I either rage or there is bloopers or there's stuff happening because I mess up and everything. So these are happening live on Twitch. I stream every single day except Saturday, which is my day off. So every single day I'm on Twitch, I'm live, I'm streaming, playing World of Warcraft, doing WeakAuras, doing all kind of cool stuff. So if you want to come check me out, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to come drop by, you know, send me a follow. Would really, really, really appreciate it. You can also drop a like on this video, write me a comment down in the comment section below. Tell me if you like it, if there is some stuff you would like to see added, or if you simply are excited for one of the brand new classes that are also coming up. But until then, guys, that was it for me. Good luck in BFA.